It's the weekend and you have financial questions that need answering. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome, welcome. It's the Jill on Money Show, the program that's trying to take the mystery out of your financial life. We do that by having you do just a little bit of work. What's that work? It's so easy. Come on. You just go to our website, jillonmoney.com, jillonmoney.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there is a button. It says Contact Us. Click the button and write us your question, your note. That's the email that we receive. And of course, we read emails from time to time on the air. If you would like to join us live, which is such a great experience, it really is for everybody. I think we get more out of the conversation as we conduct it with you guys. If you want to join us live, check the box. Executive producer Mark Talercio will do everything else because he is the best executive producer, yes, in the whole wide world. That's my opinion, but I think it's kind of true. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday. I consider it an excellent way to warm up for this weekend show. So every Friday, weekly newsletter, it's free. So what's wrong with that? That's great. Today, we are joined by Anthony. Anthony is on the line with us from Southern California, where I bet it's lovely right now. How are you, Anthony?
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Mark. It is very nice out. It's a little too dry. My hands are very cracked today. So
oh, dear.
I'm putting lotion on constantly, but continually washing it. It's like it's a catch-22.
Well, I'm sorry for your cracked hands. Really, truly. I'm feeling so sad for you. Well, here it was freezing this past weekend. So anyway, Anthony, what can we do for you, brother?
Yes. Unlike most of the calls, I think we have about 85% solution, and I'm calling about decumulation, not accumulating. My wife is 55 and a half. I'm 61. I'm fully retired. I have some things set up, but I want some fresh eyes versus my tired eyes. Take a look at them. I'm looking for about 80-90% solution. So, some things, going forward, who knows what the future will bring.
Oh, good. That's good because I have a crystal ball. It's all set for you. How much does your wife earn right now?
Base is 160. Her bonus is usually 20% of that. Okay. It fluctuates, of course. And then she gets stock options. She also earns OT. For the last probably 10 years, she's maxed out Social Security. And she's gone over $200,000 for the last 10 years.
Oh, okay. So on that $200,000, is that enough for you guys to live on her income alone?
Yes.
Okay. How much do you think you need to live on? Like, what's the actual amount?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I just added up this weekend. This includes everything, including a travel budget, is about $10,000 per month.
Okay, that's great. Will you or she be entitled to a pension?
Yes, I will be. In fact, I'm drawing it now as of at 58. I was able to draw my military reserve pension, and then VA. Unfortunately, I'm 100% disabled for the VA. Yeah, I still have all my facilities. I still have my arms and legs, but unfortunately, if you look at the X-rays, you know why I'm 100% disabled. The VA, between VA, the military pension, and a small federal government pension, I'm earning $7,500 before taxes, and right now it comes to just under $6,000 after taxes.
Okay. Wow. Well, I'm so sorry that you have that disability. That sucks. It really does.
Yes. I tell all my friends and people ask me, VA pension's really great. It's like, no, you don't understand. It's like, I give it I'd probably give everything up if I could wake up without knowing one of my body parts not hurt.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Okay, so next question for you. Your wife, will she also be entitled to a pension?
No, but she does have a healthy 401k. She's maxed out her 401k since 99, and right now she has 2.5 million
Wow.
in there, which is divided between 1.75 regular and then 0.75 as a Roth. She also
Okay.
has an HSA, and it's called a RMSA. And what I've gathered and through research, it's basically HSA, but the company has designated as a retirement medical spending account. Basically,
Okay.
works the same way.
Okay. And how much is in that?
HSA, let me gather that 1 second. HSA is at 50K and retirement medical is at 140. And we're contributing 3,000 retirement. The company puts in automatic 1,000 and then matches 1,500 of the 3,000.
Wow. That's a lot. That's
Yes.
like a lot. That's a good benefit. Okay. How much longer do you think your wife's going to keep working?
She could quit now. She likes what she's doing. She's an in-house paralegal.
So, but
So
like she is she like wiped out? Do you think does she have a number in
no,
mind?
no,
Like,
she really likes what she's doing.
uh-huh.
And she's talked to her supervisor, and as long as they give her her time off, she accumulates 5 weeks a year,
Mm-hmm.
and she can accumulate up to 350
Hmm.
per for total. So as long as her boss knows that, as long as she keeps getting her vacations, she'll keep working. She probably has about 2 to 4 years left,
Okay.
realistically.
Wow. That's great. So right now you've got her big fat retirement accounts, the HSA, the RMSA. Any other money that you guys have saved?
Yes, I have my own. I had the TSP through both federal government and military,
Mm-hmm.
and I rolled over to Charles Schwab. In fact, when she retires, we'll roll everything over to Charles Schwab.
Okay.
So my account for the my RA is at 340,000. My
Mm-hmm.
Roth is at 117. Her Roth is at 70K. Our brokerage is at 205K. And that's broken down to 153 into stocks and mutual funds, ETFs, and then 52K as money market. The money
Mm-hmm.
market is basically where we're saving for anything with the next 5 years we project. Like next year, we're doing a brand new roof and then repainting the house, that kind of stuff. And then we
Mm-hmm.
have about 15,000 stuck in cash between checking savings, and then we also have a $42,000 emergency savings broken down to $1,200 CDs per month for 12 months.
Your guys are so set. So, you own your home, right?
Yes, free and clear. We have no long-term debt.
Okay. And only one house, no like separate weird
Correct.
thing you
No,
can tell me about? Okay.
we live below our means, Jill.
Okay. You do. We'll get back to Anthony in just a minute. This is Jill on Money.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
you're back. It's Jill on Money. We are here trying to help you make better or perhaps less bad financial decisions. If something's going on in your life, your real life, the big broad strokes, maybe it's a new job, maybe it's considering a house purchase, maybe you're weighing whether or not you can afford to pay for your kids' private versus a public education. We'd love to hear from you. All you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. JillOnMoney.com. That is the key to where all of our content lives. In the upper right-hand corner, regardless of where you are navigating on the website, you will see the Contact Us button. When you click that button, you know what happens? A form pops up. That's the email we receive. Write us your note. And of course, let us know if you'd like to join us on the air live. Mark will do everything else. You just check the box and he'll take it over from there. While you are on the website, I encourage you to check out our subscription service. It's called Jill on Money Live. And this is where, for a flat fee of $35, you will have access to quarterly live webinars for the next 12 months, special content that also lives behind that paywall. And again, it's $35 now, but the price is going up. And so we encourage you to join Jill on Money Live right now while you can lock in $35 for the next 12 months. Wouldn't that be nice? I'm saving you some money. Yeah, it's just that easy. So check it out, Jill on Money Live. Right now, let's get back to Anthony from Southern California. What is it? You said you need a decumulation plan, right?
Correct.
This is what you're thinking about. We know that you have a ton of money that is coming in the door right now. Right? Because we have this $200,000 from your wife, plus your pre-tax $7,500 a month, which puts you in a pretty decent tax bracket, right? And you do live in, and you live, I'm sorry, you live, I know part of yours is not taxable. I understand that. But you do live in a high tax state. So I'm wondering if you feel comfortable right now just starting to pull some of the money out of your pre-tax account, like, because you're older than your wife. So now we have this place where we're like, okay, maybe we should pull a little bit of money out of your $340,000 pre-tax account. Should we do that? And I mean, I don't know how much you really want to accelerate. Like, it seems to me you don't need a decumulation plan in any major way, but you have this ticking time bomb of your wife's big fat traditional account. That's just, it's out there, right?
Yes.
So, and you have no kids, right?
We have 2 kids. They're set up on 529 plans, fully funded. They also, through the VA in California, also get college for tuition free.
Oh, so you got young kids.
One's 24, one's 21, so youngish.
Yeah.
Again, the accumulation plan, I have my regular IRA set up in 4 CDs at $75,000. Starting, one comes in this year and then following 3 years. So again, as soon as she pulls the trigger, we have the money, and my money comes, in November of each year, set up where we'll get 75,000 plus the interest. Mm-hmm. And then every year that she doesn't, half the CD will roll into the money market, and about a third will run to the B&D fund, and then the rest will be into the regular stock ETFs.
Like, you have a plan. You're getting the money out of your pre-tax account slowly but surely, and you're not going to accelerate that and jump into, like, you're not going to pull out hundreds of thousands of dollars out right now because you are in a high tax bracket.
Correct.
It seems to me like you already have your solution, which is you've set this up ahead of time. You are making sure that the money will come out. Whatever you don't need, you throw in the brokerage account. Whenever she's ready, I mean, as you said, it could be a couple of years, but maybe, it's 4 years. But as she is kind of on her journey towards retirement, I think that there's, like, your solution is a little bit easier. You have much less pre-tax money. When she retires, right? And let's say she retires and, she's 59, okay? Or she's 58. We have some time between the day that she retires and when she has to take money out and pay for those required minimum distributions. So maybe the game plan is essentially the same with her, not yet, but that you set things up so that you have a certain amount of money that comes out every year. It keeps you in a specific tax bracket, whichever one feels most comfortable for you. And you start really focusing on getting her money out of that pre-tax account from the time she retires until she has to take required minimum distributions. And you do it just the way you're doing it now. Mike, doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be a CD. It can be money that's inside the retirement account in a money market account. It can be however you want to do it. But that money is growing and it is going to continue to grow. So I don't think there's a huge issue here. I do think it is you guys having a systematic approach to that period of time. And look, for all I know, for the next 4 years, we know what the tax rates are probably going to be. But if it's 7 years from now and you're saying, Jill, our tax rate just went up enormously, what should we do? We'll make a different decision then. I just think that where we are today, we know where you are. I don't think that there's going to be, I don't think there's going to be a big change for 4 years, but I do think when she retires, we might be looking at a different story. Who knows? We'll have to see.
Correct.
But I think you're in very good shape. You've done a great job of saving and investing. And the more that you can make you can incorporate a systematic approach to all of these accounts so that you can consolidate and manage it more efficiently, the better you're going to be. And so if Schwab's the place you want to do everything, fantastic. And when she retires, you can just roll everything right in there. And as far as the kids, is there any idea around helping them out more? Is it would you like to gift them money to buy a house or anything like that? Is that something that's in your head right now?
Glad you asked that. I'm starting to take withdrawals from my Roth IRA at minimum $6,000 per year and giving it to as basically a parent match as they're contributing to their either Roth or company 401k. We're gifting them from my account right now, and then we'll also include my wife's account, $6,000 per year to their Roth IRA to set them up for retirement going forward.
You're very nice parents. But wait, I just want to interrupt for 1 second. Don't take it from the Roth. Leave that Roth account alone. Take it from your brokerage account.
Got it.
And I'll tell you one thing to consider. You can gift them a security. You could say hey, I have the Charles Schwab S&P 500 fund. You can gift that to the 21-year-old and the 24-year-old. And my guess is they're in a lower capital gains tax rate than you are. Let them sell it, and then they can put it into their Roth.
See, that's why I called you.
That's what I got for you. I got an 80 to 90% solution. One last thing before I let you go, Anthony. Do you guys have your estate documents done?
Yes, estate documents are done. We look at it every 5 years through her.
Great.
She gets a legal plan through her. So we look at, in fact, in about 2 years, we'll redo it because the kids should be old enough and hopefully smart enough to take care of the estate when we pass.
I think they're going to, it sounds like they're on their way. Anthony, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best of luck. If you've got a question about how to get your money out when you are retiring, the so-called decumulation, give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note. We'd love to have you join us. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show, and we will be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, and we are here trying to help you make different financial decisions going forward, maybe more considered ones. Maybe you need to know what the options are for your particular situation. We'd love to hear from you. All you need to do is go to our website, jillonmoney.com. In the upper right-hand corner, click the Contact Us button and write us a note. That is the email we received, and let's do an email right now. This is from Bernard. He said, I'd like to have a financial health check with you to see if I need to go back to work. Ooh, okay. He's retired from work at 61 due to health and stress issues. My wife is 3 years younger than I am, so she's 58. She will be working until she's 61 or 62. The house is paid off. They've got no debt. They've got $1 million in pre-tax accounts, $300,000 in a Roth, and they have a stock portfolio. He says small. It's $210,000 in a stock portfolio, $485,000 in cash and CDs. Wow. All right. Bernard has a small pension and retiree medical that covers both him and his wife until they get to Medicare. My gosh. They live in a no income tax state, and their average monthly expense is around $5,000. I've been doing Roth conversions annually. I plan on doing more during our low tax years. 2 older boys are doing well. Youngest still has 1 quarter to go before graduating from university, covered by 529 plan. Are we doing okay? Do I need to go back to work, or does my wife have to work longer? Please advise. All right. He didn't say how much the wife makes, right? All right, let's just pretend wife stops working in 3 years, 3 or 4 years, right? Okay. I think that if your wife just stops working, then I would not do conversions. I would probably just pull the money out of the pre-tax accounts and live on that until you claim Social Security. Here's a question I would ask. Bernard, is your health issue an issue that would really change the way you think about claiming Social Security? You didn't mention how much your Social Security will be, but you got a lot of money. So it seems to me if maybe you can work, she can work a little bit longer, and you keep pulling some money out of those pre-tax retirement accounts, and you can live off of that until you guys claim Social Security. It sounds like you're going to be okay, but I can't tell 100%. But I think you're going to be okay. I do. Okay, next. This is from Daniel, whose subject is saving in your 70s. Okay, Daniel says, I'm in my 70s. I'm still working. I've got good cash flow. I've been buying CDs with my extra cash, but those rates are dropping. I'm maxed out with a company. Should I get a Roth by the end of the year? And will that give me any tax benefit for the year that I buy? Okay, so if you have earned income, you can contribute to a Roth IRA. So that's fine. And you can put that money in because you're over the age of 70. Again, you've got to have earned income. You can put $8,000 a year away this year. It will not give you any tax benefit today. You're foregoing that tax benefit today, but you're paying the tax that's due and you're building up in for the future. Otherwise, if you don't want to do a Roth, you can just put money into a brokerage account. What a bad problem to have. Saving too much money.
By the way, he can do the Roth if he's under the income threshold. I don't know how much he makes.
Oh, right. That's right. I'm sorry. I should have said that. So the Roth IRA phase out, I don't know if he's working or not, working. I don't know if he's married or not. If you are single and you make between $146,000 and $161,000 this year, you will get phased out. Above 161 is where you will not be able to contribute to a Roth. So, Daniel, give us a holler. What a good problem to have. I'm saving so much money. I'm still in my 70s. Spend a little bit. All right. This is from Sean, who says, I'm looking for some guidance on how to finance construction of a second home cabin in the woods. I already own the land. That's good. It's worth about $50,000. The construction of the cabin itself will cost about $400,000. Ideally, I would be breaking ground in the spring of next year when the ground thaws. Makes sense. Okay, details. 35-year-old engineer earning $180,000 a year. Oh, my gosh. Not much of a bonus in this industry. Okay, assets, $750,000 in a retirement account, $140,000 in a taxable brokerage account, $30,000 in cash. Debt. The only debt is a $375,000 mortgage on his primary home, which is worth $650,000. Mark the debt on that 375, 2.75%. Oh gosh. Okay. Sean's getting married next fall. How exciting. Partner is debt-free, earns six figures. We don't plan on having kids beyond our four-legged ones. Double income, no kids. I taught my mother that. Dinks. Until then, beyond sharing bill payments, our finances are largely separated. I was planning on pursuing the cabin financing myself, then she'd marry into it when we combine our finances after the wedding.
Hope she knows about it.
Yeah, really. What are your thoughts on this plan? Do you have any suggestions about getting the funds needed? Construction loan, home equity line of credit, something else? Looking forward to hearing back. Well, I would pursue all options, to be honest with you. I also think I might think about talking to her about this before you do this on your own, because you have 140 in a brokerage account. Maybe she's got that same amount of money. Maybe she makes a lot of money, right? So maybe she also has a brokerage account. Maybe it would be a smarter thing for you guys to do this together and use some of the money you have and not get a mortgage at all. But I would absolutely look at a construction loan or a home equity line of credit on your current home. But I would talk to her, because there's no reason to do this on your own if you don't have to. I think that would make a lot more sense. My 2 cents is you're going to get married. You know, you don't have to make it all even Steven. Maybe she's got a pile of money that she's like, hey, you know what? I want to do this with you. It's a possibility. If there's something going on in your life and you think it could impact your money, we'd love to hear from you. Just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us that note, give us a lot of detail if you're shy and you don't plan to come on the air, little less detail if you do want to join us. Jill on Money. We'll be right back.
401ks, IRAs, refinancing, she covers it all. Back to Jill on Money with Jill Schlesinger.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, and we are here answering financial questions, whether by email, whether you join us live. We don't care. If something's going on and you need a little assistance, another set of ears and eyes. Mark and I are both certified financial planners. We'd love to help you out. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Right now, let's get to an email. This is from Gregory. Oh boy. Subject, helping adult children now versus later. Okay. Hello, Jill and Mark. Here is what's going on for me and my wife. A pension of $90,000 a year, a Roth of $1.1 million, pre-tax thrift savings plan $600,000, cash of $240,000. We spend about $9,000 a month, and we draw an additional $15,000 from our thrift savings plan annually. I think he means that that's what they pull from to make up the difference between the pension amount and what they spend. They also have $250,000 in a taxable account. Okay, here we go. 3 sons, middle one set and launched. Youngest and oldest, not where they should be. Let me do that again. Oldest, scraping by out west, has a cash job living hand to mouth, digging out of a hole after some issues. The youngest one works part-time and 36 hours a week and college full-time. Holy smokes. So the young one is 28. The older one's 36. Here is the question. I've considered helping to contribute to a Roth up to the limit as a match, i.e. youngest puts in $3,500, I put in $3,500, so it's a full year. The oldest, I would do the same once he gets into some type of standard job. I want to be supportive, but not become part of a problem. They should be standing on their own now. Is this a dumb carrot to dangle, or should I just let them inherit whatever is left? So I think I think of having a match is great. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's fine. But if your oldest son has had issues, right, and you really need to help out and you want to keep an eye on him, I mean, would it be helpful to, let's say, for example, let's say that he has a pile of debt that he accumulated because something bad happened, right? I'm not averse to paying off that debt. I'm not. If you really believe that he won't go back, lapse into bad habits. That's the only thing. So if you're telling me that, there's some other stuff going on, it doesn't sound like the young one has the big problem. It's the older one. So I think the young one, perfect. The older one, I don't know. I feel like there may be other stuff we should be thinking about. Herb writes, he's in his late 60s. He's retired. He says, I'm looking to donate my remaining savings when I die to charitable organizations in the form of endowments. What are the best charities with the least managerial fees? Okay, wait a minute. There's no such thing as the best charities. But what we know is that if you want to do some research about charities, there are some different ways to do that. You can, the Better Business Bureau has something called give.org. Charity Watch, Charity Navigator, GiveWell. These are all places where you can go kind of suss out how much of your donation goes to supporting programs versus overhead. And, if that's, many places they have community charitable organizations where you can give it to the community and they have a professional staff and you say, look, I just want it to be like, I live in Providence, Rhode Island. I want to give to the Providence Foundation. They'll find the best charities in the area. So I think you should do a little bit of work and there's no such thing as like the best charity. It's like what you're interested in, right? That's the most important thing. Okay. Next question here. This is from Chris. Hi, Jill. 2 questions. 1, for tax filing, if the forms of the returns are simple, then I do TurboTax. But if it's complex, I go to H&R Block. There were years where I shifted back and forth between the two. Now, after listening to your podcast, when I shift between those places, I'm not sure whether capital gains loss carryover is properly accounted. Oh boy, requested by them, submitted by me. Seems like it is a good practice that we should always look into submit prior years when we do current year's taxes. I've never done that before. The one lesson I have learned, thank you. Are we missing out on anything else in those cases? Look, I don't know what is the complexity that is added, because I'm not sure you even need H&R Block. No shade up to H&R Block. I'm just saying that it may be that the complexity that you think is complex isn't so complex anymore. So I really want to know more about what's going on and what you think that complexity is. And, yes, you should understand, like, each year you should understand, like, hey, do I have a carry forward tax loss? What's out there? That's an important part of the job of preparing taxes and understanding your tax situation. Okay. So Chris is 52. His wife is 46. And he says, so far I've invested our money only in stocks, individual stocks, and a Dow index exchange traded funds. I know when it goes down a lot. Other than that, should I change to include some bonds also? Then again, I hear all those suggested allocation percentages. I think in the last 20 years or so, I've never invested in bonds. Is there something I need to do? I like bonds. I know they have not performed as well. I think that it's a good practice to have a little bit of asset allocation at work. It wouldn't kill you to be 80-20, and if you want to do that in a retirement account, you can shift the allocation immediately. And it's not because you're going to outperform. You're not going to outperform. But what you can do is you can maybe shift the way the portfolio acts during downturns. That's all. Okay. If it's a taxable account, I would not necessarily sell and incur capital gains to do it. But when you put new money in, maybe you can add some bonds. If you've got a question, it's so easy. Just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show. You're back. It's Jill on Money. Let's squeeze an email in from Betty, who writes, Hi, Jill. I know how you feel about whole life insurance. My mom has a policy and she's paid into it for decades. The cash value right now is $100,000. And when she dies, she will not get anything when she dies. When she dies, somebody, her beneficiary, will get $200,000. The question is, let's see, I have to take over the policy and the payments. I am the beneficiary. I am inclined to keep it given my mother's age. The annual premium is $2,000. My mother is in good health. She is 85. What do you think? Thank you. I love your show. I listen to it all the time and I've learned a lot. Happy holidays, Betty. Well, you know what, Betty? Here's a question. Why do you have to necessarily pay the $2,000? Maybe what you should just do is let the cash value pay for the policy and don't put any more money in. And, maybe if she lives, let's say she lives 10 more years, then maybe what will happen is that the final death benefit won't be 200,000. It'll be 170,000, but maybe it will. So I would talk to the insurance company and say, if we were to never make another premium payment, we have what's called a paid up policy. What would that mean? And they'll tell you how much money it could be. That's fine. If you want to do that, great. It's not a problem. But I wouldn't put more money in. That's for sure. No way. All right. This is from Double T. Do you like that, Mark? Because I didn't want to give away too much. It's good.
Sounds like Theo.
Right? Double T. Hi, Jill and Mark. My son, who is 17, worked over the summer and will put $2,000 into a Roth and another parental Roth match, Mark, $2,000 here. He earned $5,000 this summer. Okay. We have an account at Schwab. I know we can do a target date fund. I'd rather build a diversified group of exchange traded funds. Any suggestions? I would like some international, some value growth with a small cap tilt. Well, then just do what you say. Put some amount in international, maybe 10% in international, and then put the rest with some value, some growth, and own a small cap fund. But, that's all you need. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show, the program that takes the mystery out of your financial life.
It's the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. You're listening to Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. We are here answering your financial questions. Let's start right now with Mark, who's on the line from the Midwest.
We've got, my wife and I have a couple of questions. We kind of had a plan for retirement, and my wife's having second thoughts or maybe wants to change one part of it that's going to kind of have a pretty significant impact on financial planning. So just wanted to get an independent and objective perspective on things.
That is me. I'm both independent and objective, although I'm always in the tank for the wife. Mark, how old are you?
I'm 67.
Okay. How old is your wife?
62.
All right. Already, I think she's wiser than you are. What's going on? What are you? So you're both working full time?
Yep, we're both working full time.
How much do you guys earn together?
Together, we're at about $290.
Have you had access to retirement plans for most of your careers?
Not for most of them. Probably in the last 15 or 20 years that we've been able to, really start saving and doing some planning.
Okay, so tell us about the money you've squirreled away so far.
So in IRAs, we've got about $200,000.
Pre-tax IRAs?
Yeah, pre-tax.
Okay, got it.
Traditional 401ks, we've got about 170.
Okay.
Roth, different flavors, whether it's a Roth rollover or a Roth 401k or whatever, we're at a little over 260. A 403b, which is my wife's, she's a little over 110.
Okay, great.
We've got HSAs that have a little over 100.
Great. Good, good, good. And that 403B is a traditional, right?
Yes.
For your wife? Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't have the option there.
Okay, so HSAs. What else we got?
We've got brokerage with about 50, and then cash or CDs or whatever, we've got about 130.
Okay. Got a nice good chunk of cash. Great. Do you guys own a home?
Yeah, we own 2, and that's where my wife is thinking about changing the plan.
Oh, I like this already. Okay, your primary. What is the primary? What's it worth?
It's worth about 3.25.
Is there a mortgage that remains on it?
Yep, there is. It's a little over 70.
And what's the interest rate on that, Mark?
2 5/8.
Oh my God. Mark's old like I am. We like fractions. Okay, thank you. Second home. Is this a vacation home or a rental property?
The second home is our retirement home.
Okay. How much is it worth?
It's worth about $550.
Ooh, okay. And mortgage?
Yeah, about a little under 3.
And what's the interest rate on that mortgage?
7.99.
Oh, hello. That's a recent one. Okay. Okay. So these are the 2 homes. What's the game plan here? Is the game plan to sell, like, in general, before we started with your wife's change of game plan, what was the existing game plan?
Well, the existing game plan was that when we retire, to sell the primary home, and then we could use the proceeds from that to pay off the mortgage on the second home.
Yep.
And so now she's having a little bit of second thoughts about that, thinking that maybe it'd be nice to keep both homes.
Sounds like there's some adult children in the picture.
Yeah, although they're pretty much launched.
Okay.
Youngest one is 26.
Okay.
Or will be 26 next year, I guess.
And what's the other one? How old?
We've got 2 others. 35 and 32.
Okay. So they're mostly launched. That's good.
Yeah,
okay.
They're mostly launched, and there's only one where our old home is located.
Okay.
So.
All right. So how are we going to do this? Let's think. First of all, you said 403B. Is your wife a teacher or a nurse? Is there a pension coming?
Yep, she's got a pension coming. If she were to retire, I mean, the game plan was that I would work, that I'd retire late in 2027, and if she worked until 2028, her pension would be about $1,700.
Okay. Are you entitled to a pension?
No.
Okay. So what about Social Security for you? So you would be, 70 years old. What would the Social Security be?
Right now it would be a little over 4.
Okay. And what about her Social Security?
Again, if she waited until she was 70, it'd be $2,900.
Was that the game plan for you guys, though, generally, when you said 2028? Let's see, where are we? We're in 24, so 4 years. So she was really only going to wait till age 67, no? For her Social Security?
Yeah, we weren't too sure about that. That was kind of open.
Okay. Do you have the 67 number, just out of curiosity? It's probably closer to
hers would be 21.
Okay, great. I just want to have both of those numbers at hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so the idea here is that worst case scenario, the old plan, you have her $1,700 a month pension, her $2,100 in Social Security, your $4,000 in Social Security.
Yep.
What is your spending need? Oh boy, this is going to be hard because what's your spending need right now with the house?
So that's part of the equation. It's
right.
Not just it is that the spending need is significantly more if we maintain both. So right now, all in, including charitable contributions, maintaining both homes and traveling between them and everything, we're at about $14 a month.
$14,000 a month?
Yeah.
Look at you guys living large. Jeez. Okay. And
well, that 7.9%.
Yeah, it's a real number.
It's a real number.
Okay, so if we get rid of the primary and you go full time to the second home, what are the expenses with only that house?
Yeah, they're going to be like 8 to 9.
Oh my God. Okay.
And so the two questions were, and I kind of think I know the answer to one. The other one's a little bit more iffy.
Yes.
But the question about, well, the first question that I think I know the answer to was whether we should be thinking about doing any Roth conversions, and I think the answer to that is no.
Well, what's the second question?
Second question is whether we should make a significant payment on that mortgage.
The only way you should do that is if you sell your house. Or you could stay in your primary home. You can't carry these two houses. You don't have enough money to do this.
Well, but if we paid down, I mean, I was looking at, amortization schedules, and if we paid a chunk now, let's say we paid $100 on that second house, the interest goes to a third over the life of the mortgage. What's left.
But it's just like your cash flow still sucks.
Yeah, except our cash flow is, I mean, we've gotten over the hump of, doing some purchasing for, associated with the purchase of that house now. So we're back to where we're building up cash now. And so that's kind of the question, is whether we should do that, given that we are building up cash now.
We'll get back to Mark in just a moment. You are listening to the Jill on Money Show, JillOnMoney.com.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's the Jill on Money Show. This is a program that focuses on you and your financial questions. So if you've got something going on in your life and maybe you're not satisfied with the response you've gotten from your current advisor, or you're wrestling with it yourself, or there's some consternation between you and a spouse, between you and an adult child, between you and an adult parent, whatever the situation is, we, Mark Talercio and I, the best executive producer in the world, we are here to help you out. And we've got a little bit of street cred. We are both certified financial planners, but we are not selling those services. We're just using our expertise to try to help you out. Okay, so if you need some assistance, all you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. In the upper right-hand corner, there is a button. It says Contact Us. When you press that button, a form will come to you. That is the email we receive. Now, if you're a shy person and you don't think you'll ever make it on the air with us, give us a lot of details so we can help you out by reading that email on the air. If you are going to come on the air live, check the box. You'll have to do a little bit less work when you're completing the form. Also, while you're on the website, you should sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday. Mark does such a great job of compiling the stories you may have missed during the week. And you can also check out our subscription service. It's called Jill on Money Live. Now, this is where you pay a flat fee of $35 for the next 12 months, and you will have access to 4 live webinars, one a quarter. And there'll also be special content for you to look at. And there'll also be other videos, $35 for a full 12 months. And I encourage you to do this before the end of the year, because the price is going up next year to $45. So that's kind of cool. Get your 12 months at $35, and you'll be able to watch all this great stuff that we're doing behind our paywall. All right, right now, let us get back to Mark from the Midwest.
Why does your wife want to keep it? For what purpose?
Oh, Mark's going to get... You see, Mark doesn't usually come on this early in the conversation, but here he comes. Look out. Look out, Mark from the Midwest.
So you guys can still use it, or to rent it out? For what purpose?
Yeah, so that we can use it. It's close to one of the kids. And so, and that's where we have to talk about it a little bit more, because I don't know that it's really a question of, do we need to keep that house, or when we come back, do we just travel to where the kids are and spend time with them, renting or, doing something like that.
This is such a hard no for me. I'm sorry, I'm going to be a dream crusher, even though I love your wife. But this is a terrible idea. I mean, if you have the game plan and you're going to live in the house, that's fine. Sell your primary, get the money out, pay down the mortgage, boom, you're done. Okay?
Yep.
And then there's nothing to worry about.
Right.
Okay? Absolutely zero. If she wants to keep both of these homes, I would really ask you the why. Is the why, well, we need to have a home base near where one of our kids is. Go stay with the kid or go get a hotel room, and it's going to be a lot cheaper. But you cannot, like this, you don't have that much money.
Right.
And I mean, I'm not sure, I shouldn't say that. You don't have that much extra money saved, right?
Right.
So we know that you have, let's see, 170, we have 280 here. So we have 280,
Three-quarters of a
380,
million.
480. We have but we have $500,000 that hasn't been taxed yet. So it's not really it's not $750,000, right?
Right.
It's is the second home in a state with no income tax?
No, it's got income tax, but it's lower than where we're at now.
Okay, so fine. So all right. So your 400, the 500 that hasn't been taxed yet is going to be taxed. So
Yep.
let's just like lop off. That's 400 there at least. And then you've got the 260 of your Roths. Okay, and then you got your brokerage account. So now you have you have 700 grand.
Yep.
And that's great, and it's wonderful. But your her pension, 2 Social Security checks are not going to exactly get you to $8,000. We need you to have a little bit more. You need another couple $1,000s a month.
Yep.
And that's going to come from that $700,000, which is
Yep.
perfect. That works. But if tell her this, she wants to keep both those houses, she got to keep working. That's what she gets. She gets
Yep.
it. Those are her choices. And
Yep.
no to the Roth conversions. Definitely no.
Yep.
But if you had a windfall, if all of a sudden you were like, hey, you know what, Jill? I work for a company and it just got taken public and I got a big chunk of money, or my great aunt Sarah died and left me money. Yeah, sure. But it's you have a great asset base. You've done an excellent job. The pension is helpful. You're working deep into your careers. You have a game plan. The idea of the purchase of this second home, I mean, you really had 2 choices. One was to say, we're going to buy this second home. We're going to pass on the second home. We're going to keep our primary, which is so cheap. And then whenever we want to go to the place that we love, we're going to just pay and be in a hotel. That's one choice. You made a different choice. You said, no, we really want to make that second home our retirement home. Is it a home that you can really retire in? Is it does it have, is it all on one level? Are you in
Yep.
like some 55 plus community or something like that?
We're not in the community, but it is all on one level, and it's got room for the kids to visit and stuff like that. So
Fabulous. So I'm good with you socking away money. Are you both putting money into your retirement accounts right now, pre-tax?
we are. We had when we bought. So it was a couple years ago that we bought the second home. When we did that, we cut down what we were contributing. We had been maxing out, but we cut down to what we needed to do to get matches.
Yep.
And with the after purchase and added purchases for things like some furnishings and some stuff like that, we haven't been doing that. So we are contributing, not maxing it out though.
But up to the match, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. Just keep doing that. Whatever it is, the match. Every extra dollar you can be putting into the brokerage account, building that up. Or you can just actually, if you really wanted to, you could pay down your 7.99% mortgage if you'd like. That's fine too. That has to go away. It's going to be hard to carry these. Again, if you want to keep working and just pay that off, if you're like, okay, you know what we're going to do, Jill? We got 130 grand in cash. We don't need all 130. We're going to take 50 of that plus 50 of the brokerage. We're going to take that 100 grand. We're going to pay down the mortgage, and we're going to keep working until we pay that mortgage down. So it's in our sight lines, right?
Yep.
But you got to keep working. You
Yep.
definitely and so if those are the choices as I see them. Mark, do you have a different idea around this?
No, I agree 100%. I mean, you guys have done a great job. You're on track for a solid retirement, but that involves one house. Unless, like Jill just said, unless you guys want to keep working, that's the only way I see it working.
Me, if I had to work another day with Mark just to support a mortgage, I'd kill myself. Really. I love him. I'm going to keep working forever. That's it. I think that's the story.
And
Is your wife going to be mad at us?
I think, yeah, Mark. I think Mark knew. He's
Yeah,
with
he
he's
did.
with us.
Yeah, I know. I told him
Yeah.
I was going to be on his wife's side, and I lied, didn't I?
Well, and actually, that was what I was thinking of, was using the brokerage and 50 from our current cash to knock 100 off, because it has such a dramatic impact now.
Yeah, but if you're going to ultimately sell the primary home right now, then don't bother.
Then don't
It's
bother.
going to get paid off anyway.
Don't bother. Okay.
No. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, it's up to
Even,
you.
even at that 8%.
I mean, look, I could pay down that mortgage. I'm fine with that. An 8% after tax return, I'm fine with that for right now, for the next couple of years. But,
Right,
if you want access to the money, then keep the money accessible. And then when you're ready to pay it down, you can do it in a lump sum. But if it makes you feel better to see a lower number, that's fine too.
Okay.
All right? It's okay. You're going to be okay. I mean, I don't want to come down too hard on you, except I just did. But Mark's wife hates us. She's never going to listen again, Mark Talercio. You hear that? You're not telling her what she wants to hear. It's very bad. You'll let us know how it goes. Meanwhile, in the little time we have left, do you guys have your estate documents done?
Yes.
All right, good. Do you want to know whether you can maintain real estate in your retirement? Give us a call. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, the program that is trying to help steer you in the right direction with your financial life. Let's go talk to Paul, who is joining us from Seattle. Hello, Paul. How are you? What can we do for you?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Of course. What's going on?
So I am probably 2 years to retirement. My position just got extended another year, and I want to make sure that I am putting my money where it would be best served during this next year.
Okay. So you're going to be retiring at the end of 25 or end of 26?
Well, my hope would be 27, but with the job market the way it is and me being older, the chances of me actually getting another job might be slim. So I'm looking at all the possibilities.
So what should we at least consider? Like, when do you think you'll be done with this job?
It'll be the end of 2025.
Okay. And so let's just do that. How old are you, Paul?
64.
All right. 64. Are you married, single, partnered? What do you got?
Single.
Single. Okay. How much do you earn?
About 145 a year.
Great. Congratulations. That's good. Do you have any kids, any grown kids? Do you have any obligations to anyone?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
And is that something we should consider as we look ahead in your financial life?
Well, I already put him on notice that it's not going to be as free-willing as it was. So
I like that. I love that idea. Like, just to give you a good heads up, gang, the gravy train is coming to a
Yes.
screeching halt. Okay.
yes.
Are you using a retirement plan through work?
Yes, I do have a retirement plan through work. I have a Fidelity account that's about 1.9.
Whoa. Hold on one second. $1.9 million is that as a workplace plan, or is that other money?
No, that's a 401k from
Is that pre-tax?
yes.
Wow. That's a boatload of money. What else you got?
I do have an IRA that has about three in it.
Three what? 100?
300, sorry.
Yeah, I was excited. I thought it was going to be 3 million.
You got to ask
I
the
wish.
billionaires.
I mean, my God, amazing.
I wish.
Okay, 300.
Then I wouldn't be so nervous.
I don't think you're going to be so. All right, so in an IRA, okay.
Yeah.
What else?
I do have a brokerage account that has 46,000 in it.
Okay. Just fun. Is that like a fun money account?
Sorry, yes, it has
Yeah.
one stock in it. Yes,
Okay. Oh, okay.
yes.
Well, all right. Very good. And what else do you got? You
I
got
have,
some other monies that are out
yep,
there?
I have two CDs. Both have about 100,000 in them. They both mature. One in January, the other one in October of next year, and then I have an emergency savings with about 130 in it.
Okay. Wow. And what about a house?
Yes, I have a house.
Paid for?
Nope, I owe about 153,000 on it.
What's it worth?
Uh, Maybe three and a quarter, or sorry, six and a quarter.
What's the interest rate on the 153, that remaining balance?
It's 3.5
Great. Okay. Any plans to sell that house?
in probably 3 years.
All right. So don't need to do anything with it. So hold for 3 years. Do you have any other real estate?
I have a lot that I don't do anything with.
How much is that worth?
I think it's worth around 50,000.
Do you have any desire to do something with said lot?
Not really. Not
All right.
really.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. What else should we know in terms of your general approach to like where you are right now? You sound nervous, but you've saved a lot of money. Do you spend a lot of money? I can't imagine you do because it sounds like you've saved so much.
Yeah, I don't spend a lot of money, but I also don't worry right now about spending money. If I want something, I will buy it.
True. What do you think you spend on an ongoing basis?
It's probably, I'm thinking probably 5 to 7 a month.
Okay. Does that include help for the kids or whoever else you're
Yes.
helping?
Yep.
Aha.
Yep.
Okay. So is it fair to say, let's just look at how old are these folks that you're helping out? 20s,
16,
30s?
16.
16. Oh, well, you have to do that. 16 is like
Yeah.
that's a kid still.
Right.
We can't get rid of that one.
You're on your own.
Dude, I thought you were going to be like, yeah, I have like a 36-year-old.
No, well,
No.
technically they're not my kids, so
Okay. They're an ex's kids.
it's a long story, Jill.
Oh man. Okay. So you got a kid who's 16
Yes.
years old who you help out. How
Yes.
much do you think that is?
Oh my gosh. A lot.
Give me a
Okay.
number.
Give us a number. Like if you say I spend $5,000 a month and it's $2,000 a month for the 16-year-old, no, more or
It's
less.
probably about 500 a month.
That's not that much. Big deal.
Okay.
Did you like that?
Listen
Mark,
to him. Okay.
Mark is laughing at me. I just like that. Okay. So I think let's just hold that $7,000 a month for a second.
Okay.
Okay. So 7,000 all in, anything you want, right?
Right.
Okay. And what are you doing in terms of that 445 grand? How much are you putting into retirement accounts right now?
19 into the 401k,
Mm-hmm.
and then the rest I've just been putting in savings.
Do you have a match in your 401k?
Yes.
What's that? Matches
think
up to what?
6%.
I think you should just drop that amount down to the match. I think you should just put in whatever you are putting in right now. I think you should just put in up to the match. Okay. And then everything else I think should just go into the brokerage account. Because you've got a ton of money in that 401k and that you've got $2.2 million that have not been taxed yet. Right?
True.
The IRA and the 401k. I don't want to add to that.
Okay.
Do you have a Roth option through work or not?
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Mark, would you rather have Paul put money into the Roth or should he just beef up the brokerage?
I mean, I know the Roth has the best tax treatment there is. I get it, but we're only talking for another year. I don't know. You're kind of splitting hairs. Either way is fine with me.
Either way is fine with me, but if you want access and it's already, it's fine. We'll get back to Paul in just a minute. This is the Jill on Money Show, and we will be right back.
401ks, IRAs, refinancing, she covers it all. Back to Jill on Money with Jill Schlesinger.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. Let's return to Paul from Seattle. Let's say you finish up in a year from now. You're 65. Will you get health care coverage through your work, or will you be just going on Medicare?
Well, I'll be forced to go on to Medicare.
Yeah.
But I do have a secondary option through my employer until I find another job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you may not, of course.
Right.
All right. And then what about any pension?
Nope.
Okay. Do you have a Social Security estimate in your, like maybe at your full retirement age, which would be 67 or 70 would be the max?
What was it? I know it's over 3, but I don't have that.
Probably
handy.
3 or 4, just based on your income is my guess. Okay. So what are you worried about, man? You got boat tons of money. You are good. You're in good shape. You don't spend that much. You think you do, but you don't. So let's say it's $7,000 a month. And let's say you're going to do that for, I don't know, like 5 or 10 years, because 16 is young, right?
Yeah.
And so I think the idea here would be you can throw the money into a Roth. I would not add, again, if they make you put up to the match in the traditional, fine. But if they match in the Roth, just use the Roth, or just put in enough to get wherever the match is, and then put money in your brokerage account. In a year from now, how would you feel? This is going to freak you out, man. How would you feel if I said, okay, let's say you don't work. Let's just pretend you don't. You might, but like you said, it might be that you're not going to get a job or the kind of job you want. So if that's the case, what you should be thinking about is, how am I going to pull the money out of those pre-tax accounts? How am I going to pull that out in a way that is tax efficient? Okay? You with me?
Right. Yep.
Okay. So you're a single dude. So right now, your highest tax bracket is the 24% bracket. So one thing to just think about is, let's say you have zero income in a year from now. So you begin the year 2026 and your income is zero. Got a little money from the brokerage account or your CDs and that. Okay. What I would be doing is I would be pulling out probably $200,000 a year from your pre-tax account in those years between 2026 and 2030. In other words, between the time that you are 65 and 70. Okay? And pull that money out and pay the tax it's due, and hold your nose, but you got the money to do this. You have the money to do this. All right? When you're 70, you claim your Social Security, right? You'll have, let's say it's 4-ish of your need of your expenses, and then you don't have to pull quite as much out of your retirement account. You'll pull a little bit less out, maybe half as much. Maybe you're going to pull out 100 or 80, whatever it is. And you're going to keep doing that, and you're going to live on that money, and life is going to be good. Mark, is there any way that Paul runs out of money in this game plan?
I don't see it unless these kids become a bigger problem than they currently are.
Yeah, I mean, that 16-year-old, you have to buy a car? I don't know what you have to do, but oh, criminy. Okay, well, I mean, you just can't go crazy with this kid,
Right.
either, right? I mean,
Right.
as you said, everyone's been put on notice, but I also do think that you have a lot of money. And especially if you're thinking about holding the house for 3 more years, what happens in 3 years?
Oh, well, then I was going to get an RV and maybe go live on property and build a cabin.
What do you think, Mark? I feel like this is another RV story. Are you going to buy one of those tricked out RVs? What was that one that guy had a $300,000? Didn't he, Mark? Did he not have like a $300,000 RV?
It was like a rock band tour bus.
It was incredible. I was so excited when I saw a picture of it. So I think that you are going to be in great shape, and when I put that on top of it, the idea of selling the house and building it, you're in good shape. You know what? It's hard to conceive of a way that you spend all of your money. It is more likely that you're so apoplectic and you won't spend any of your money, which is why I want to encourage you that when you stop working, to start pulling money out of that pre-tax account. It's your money. It's like you're going to pay yourself, dude. You've put together your own pension plan. Okay. You have $2.2 million, right? 1.9 in the 401k, 300 grand in your IRA, and you're going to have a big, huge pension plan. But that pension plan, it has to come out to you. You have
Right.
to pull it out. And waiting for 10 years until the government forces you to pull it out is not a good game plan. It really isn't. The
Okay.
better game plan is for you to control how that money comes out.
Okay.
You feel okay about that? Mark, I sense a little consternation. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously very nervous. I mean, he already thinks he's going to have to get another job. I mean, you don't have to get another job.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get another job, that's fine. Maybe, but you don't have to. And
Yeah.
you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself in that respect.
My concern is, and I know I've heard this on your show from other folks, is starting to take the money out.
Well, you
right?
mean like how to, or
No, or just taking it. If you've saved all this time and now you're going to actually start taking it out, that's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to have a hard time with it, but you first. I'm just kidding. No, you know what it is? That's why I think if you consider this like you have created a pension plan for yourself and now you're just going to turn the pension spigot on, it's an easier way to force yourself to get the money out. It's a little bit of a mental shift. I get it. But in some respects, if you just said, oh, if I were a pensioner, if I worked for the government, if I worked for a municipality, if I worked for a school, I would have been forced to put a chunk of money away every year. And then when I retired, they'd spit out a monthly income to me. And that would be what you would be living on, partially. We'll be right back. You're back. It's Jill on Money. Let's wrap up our conversation with Paul from Seattle. So the fact that you just have to do it yourself just means that you need to be able to force yourself to say, I have to turn my pension on. That's what it is. It's that simple. It really is. I promise you. And
Okay.
I know that it's going to be a bit of a hurdle, but if you can start to at least game this out now, a year ahead of time, I think you'll be very happy that you did. What I might do is if I'm you, it's a year from now, I look at that retirement account and the IRA. Where is that IRA?
Oh, it's with Schwab.
Oh, okay. It says with Schwab. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and is that, okay, I just want to make sure that is a Schwab. Is that a Roth or that's the Roth IRA, right?
Yeah, that's the Roth one. And I haven't put money into that in at least 20 years or more.
So maybe what you do is you take when you retire, you take the 1.9 million out of the 401k and you roll it. You don't take it out. You roll it into a rollover IRA at Schwab. Okay. And then every year you set up ahead of time. I'm going to make it up. I want $15,000 a month sent to me. That's what I want. They'll send it to you and you can even have them withhold 20% taxes. And so you can prepare for that. And you can just have them automatically send you 15 grand a month. The only thing you have to do is ahead of time, put 200 grand in cash so that that's done. And maybe that's a really good practice for you. You know, you say, okay, of my 1.9 million, I'm going to sell out a certain amount of money. It's going to go to cash. And then for that year, there's my 15 grand every month. And you set it up automatically. That's what I would do.
Ah, okay.
That way, you don't have to feel so anxious. It's done. You've forced yourself to do it. Well, that's it. That's the program. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is our executive producer, and Webb King. As always, we ask that you lift someone up, change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.